Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time from Walter. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or randomness, out of the blueness, commentaries, reviews, rankings, lists, whatever, news, reactions, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 1972 film Horror Express. Now, this is a film, as you see, stars Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Telly Savalas from Kojak is in it. He's in it for a small part, though, in the third act. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, definitely more of their movie. And I enjoy this one. I mean, you gotta understand with these 70s movies, you're not getting a lot of action. That's not what you're really looking for with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing movies. But I like the setup. I like the story. I thought it went at a good pace because it's only an hour and a half long. You have two great actors, this time working together as the good guys. Because usually these guys in their Hammer horror films, they would be, and this isn't Hammer, this is, I think, a Spanish production? I want to say this was a Spanish production. I could be wrong. But, yeah, Eugenio Martín, or as they call it, Gene Martin, he directed it. And I think he came up with the original story. But usually in those films, Peter Cushing is, Van Helsing, and Christopher Lee is Dracula, or, they're on opposite sides. So it was nice to see them on the same side, being friendly with each other, some nice banter back and forth. Neither of them as the bad guy. That was nice to see. And what I mean by I like the setup, it all takes place on a train. It all takes place on a train, so you still have that claustrophobic setting that you can't leave, you can't get anywhere out and about. You're stuck there. And the setup is Christopher Lee is an anthropologist who found this fossil of this decomposing body. And he takes it for study. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know why my voice is giving out. But he takes it for study, and one thing leads to another, and the figure is still alive. And starts killing people on the train. Peter Cushing is a doctor. They're both trying to figure out what's going on, why is this happening, what the hell. And what's interesting about it is kind of almost a take on the story Who Goes There? The story that was the basis of John Carpenter's The Thing. So it kind of has that going for it, although it doesn't sadly play off the paranoia that you get from that, where you don't know who's who, because you can fairly guess who is the creature. And it can't be more than one. It's only going to be one person. But you pretty much, that's one aspect I think they could have done more, is of paranoia of, can I trust you? But great, it's not technically based on Who Goes There. So it was trying to do its own thing. But I'm just saying, in retrospect, if the writer and if the director could have implemented that, where it becomes more of a mystery. Because what this creature does is, it could look at someone and mostly kill them, which is pretty graphic for the time, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty graphic for the time, where their eyes will become white, and then they start bleeding out of their eyeballs, sometimes out of their mouth and nose. And apparently what the creature does, it will suck out your memories through your eyes. Because like Peter Cushing does an autopsy and the brain, which usually has ridges, is smooth. I said, well, this is strange. Brains are not smooth like that. And he says something about the ridges deal with memories. I don't know if that's true, because I'm not an expert on how the brain works on that. But it sounds good. And yeah, I like the idea. It was a bit different. It was a bit unique. That's not your typical MO for a creature. That it sucks your memories out, and again, it's going through the eyes. That's why the eyes become white, and that's why you're bleeding and all that, and you ultimately become dead. But then what it does, it uses those memories for its own purposes. It now knows what that guy knew, or what that lady knew. And then at times when it needs to, it will go into another body. So it become to become a body hopping monster. Well before the Hidden or any of this other stuff, which again was kind of a cool idea for an early 70s movie. Because again, this was 1972. And again, when you go into a film like this, you're expecting wall-to-wall action. Again, it's more graphic than you would expect. And like I say, it was a fun story to watch. Like I say, it was fun to see these two guys working on the side of good. Some of the banter they have with each other. Like before everything happens, and Peter Critch is wondering what's in the crate. And Christopher Lee goes, well, it's nothing. It's something that hasn't eaten for 2 million years. And Peter Cushing says something to the effect of, well, that's one way to compromise on food bills. Whereas they do a better job than I do of detailing that dialogue. And then you start to find out that this thing might be an alien. And not only might be an alien, but it might be an alien from the days of the dinosaurs and all these memories, and that survived for centuries until it was frozen, and then it's going on from there. And this thing will kill men, will kill women, will kill old women. It doesn't discriminate. So it definitely makes the villain much more intimidating. And like I said, because it's on a train, it's just a nice setting. There's not a lot of horror movies that take place on a train. I mean, there's Terror Train, which I liked, but there's not a whole lot. There's that shitty Hostel wannabe called Train. But Midnight Meat Train, I guess. But there's not a lot of creature features. Let me put it that way. There's not a lot of creature features that take place on a train. There was going to be one called Isobar with Sylvester Stallone, directed by Roland Emmerich, with Kim Basinger and James Belushi, and effects by Rick Baker. If someone asked me what's one of the films you wish would have been made, it was that. But then Carolco went out of business, and they're like a few weeks. Production was going to be in a few weeks. God, I wish that film was made. You have no idea how badly I wish that film. Stallone, why don't you make that film now? You're an older man who's a doctor or a scientist, whatever. You could still make that movie now. Maybe you took all the budgets from all your fucking estate plan films and your Bullet in the Heads and Expendable 4s with fucking whatever. You could put all that money together. Your Rocky IV director's cut. All that money. Put them together. You could have made Isobar. Or Hunter. But, hey, what do I know? You could have still made it. But, hey, dude, what do I know? Gotta do Steep Plane 2 and 3. Because we're all waiting fucking for that. Sorry, I'm going off tangent. But it'd be cool to see more creature features on a train. I mean, they're other than snakes on a train. I mean, like, better, decent fucking creature features. But this is a good one. And because of the actors involved, because of the way the creature kills people is like, ew, pretty nasty. And you also have this crazy monk, which you could tell he's pretty much everyone else is dubbed because this was a Spanish production. And the only people that have their voices is Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas, I think, has some deal. He was working with some company or something, so as part of the deal, he did this movie, and that's why he's only in the third act. I wish he was in the film more. I wish he did more, because I like Telly Savalas. Yeah, I do like him as an actor. It was cool to see him in films like Kelly's Heroes. Yeah. I don't think he did this kind of creature feature film a lot. I can't think of another movie he was in that was like this, and I just wish he was in the film more. I wish he was in the film more. I wish he was able to do more. Maybe join up with our two leads, be like a trio, kind of like Jaws, where there was a trio. That would have been nice to see. But it was still fun to see him. He's part of this group of soldiers that come on the train in the third act. And he still brings his fun personality. Like, there's this monk that's talking about evil, and Telly Savalas kind of does his dramatic thing, and then, like, you know, kisses the cross. He still brings a bit of his personality to it, which is fun. But yeah, I just wish he was utilized more. But like I said, I wish they played more of the paranoia, where it's more of that you really truly don't know who it is. Because you could easily guess who it is, and the movie pretty much tells you who it is. And I thought that was a mistake. Again, they should have brought that mystery, elevate that more. But it's still a fun story. I mean, you got 2 stars of Hammer and Telly Savalas. You got a train. You got an alien. You got technically body hopping, eyes bleeding. You got zombies at the end, because that was able to rise up all the people it killed. And Christopher Lee using a sword to take care of business. I do wish Peter Cushing had more to do at the end, because it does become pretty much Christopher Lee's movie for the finale. 1 or 2 things, but I wish it was both of them, like side by side. I think that would have been better too. So again, I do have a couple little nitpicks here and there. Like I said, I wish Peter Cushing did more with side by side with Christopher Lee in the finale, because he's pretty much side by side throughout most of it. But I just wish it was that way for the finale. But it does have an ending, no sequel bait ending. And it's that old phrase, when the monster is dead, the movie's over, and it definitely abides from that motif. Like I said, the setting, the cast, the ideas, it's not too long of a film. It's for a fun movie. It's for a fun time. So I do like Horror Express. It's not my favorite 70s movie. I mean, I would put Jaws, Alien, Dawn of the Dead, among others above it. But definitely one of my favorite of these 2 actors. I think with a few little fixes, it would elevate it even more. But if you like 70s horror movies, if you like these actors, if you like seeing an old-fashioned Fright Fest, this is definitely worth a watch. Horror Express. Like I said, not enough horror films on a train setting. Gives a nice little different motif. Which the monster doesn't really look like this. I mean, there's a point where it does have red eyes, but the monster doesn't quite look like that. The hand looks a little bit like that, but not the rest of it. But it's still a nice poster, nice cover. Horror Express. So, yeah, definitely one of my favorite of the Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee stuff. Might even be my favorite, honestly, because I like Horror Dracula, but this one I would put above it. Yeah, I would say this is my favorite of the 2 actors that they starred in, especially together. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.